Nearly 200 mourners attended funeral ceremonies for Weiss held late this afternoon at the Mount Sinai Cemetery in the Hollywood Hills. The 51-year-old Weiss disappeared 8 days ago after he left a meeting at a Beverly Hills hotel. He was to have attended a dinner party with his wife an hour and a half later, but he never made it. 4 days after that, his body was found in the trunk of the Rolls-Royce he had been driving, the car abandoned in a parking garage at the Sheraton Universal Hotel. Weiss had been shot twice in the head, his body wrapped in a blanket, his hands and feet were tied. Police say the murder had the marks of a professional killing. But today there was no police and evidence, as the businessman and sports figure was laid to rest. His widow and 8 children, his mother, were there to say goodbye. And friends were left to reminisce about him. Former middleweight champion Sugar Ray Robinson told me Weiss was active with his Sugar Ray Sports Foundation. He was with Weiss the weekend before he disappeared.
I haven't been able to sleep since then, golly, I just can't get myself together. I was with him Sunday, and he called me Sunday, and I went out to the house, and he was very upset because he'd been having some trouble, and so many walking in and out, we never did get a chance to go into anything.
Did he tell you what kind of trouble it was?
No, we didn't get any time to talk. There were so many people, you know, in and out of the house, and we didn't get a chance to talk.
This was at Vic's home then?
At Vic's home, yeah.
Just before he disappeared, Weiss was trying to negotiate a Laker coaching job for his boyhood friend, Jerry Tarkanian.
I talked to him 2 hours before he left, and he was so happy and cheerful, and I never knew of him having any problems. I just never knew of him having any problems. He just seemed, he was always positive, he was always happy, and I remember 6 months ago he told me he's really got it made now. He said it's been a struggle, but he's made it, big, and he's really going to enjoy life now. And he said everything was going to be downhill from there.
In recent years, roller skating has become a favorite pastime for thousands of Southern Californians, and Venice Beach is one of the most popular areas for the skaters. But some people believe it's gone too far, and the pedestrians are in danger because of the fast-moving skaters. Police patrol the area, keeping bikes off the boardwalk and skaters off the bike paths. A week and a half ago, an elderly resident of this area died after being struck by a bicycle, but there have been other accidents involving roller skaters, and non-skaters I talked with said the ordinance was necessary.
I think that the elderly people who live in this area are they're frightened, and there are too many accidents happen to them.
Have you ever been fearful down here because of what's going on?
I live right here 1 block from here, and I ride a bike, and you walk along here, especially when it's crowded, and it's a hazard.
Skate shop owners have a different opinion. You think there could be a peaceful coexistence down here?
Sure, as long as the side over there is only for pedestrians, and the ones that be on the boardwalk understand that if something does happen, nothing can be done about it. As long as there's an area specifically for pedestrians, I think everything will be okay.
There's a lot more to register than just filling out the application.
We want everybody to be in the meeting. That's all what we want. You turned it down last week for a bigger hall.
Maryland President of the Department Association. Which one before now, sir?
not rolling.
You know I never get a chance to cover a Hollywood premiere, so when our producer came to me and said, "Would you like to cover the premiere of the Muppet Movie?" I jumped at the opportunity. Did I want to meet Bob Hope, Steve Martin, or Cloris Leachman? No, I wanted to meet Kermit and Miss Piggy and Fozzie Bear. But no such luck. Kermit and Miss Piggy and Fozzie Bear, all the Muppets, were in London, working on the Muppet Show for television. The closest I came to Kermit and Miss Piggy were just fake stuffed animals, not the real thing. Cloris Leachman, who is in the Muppet Movie, did show up. None of the other stars did. So I asked her about my favorite actress. Did you have to share a dressing room with Miss Piggy?
Oh, no, she has one all by herself. I was lucky to get any attention at all, actually. She's kind of she's kind of bitchy, if you want to know the truth.
Really?
I mean, but don't tell anybody. It's off the record, okay?
This year's Miss Bogan County, Miss Piggy! Thank you, thank you.
Never before have two souls joined so freely. Never before. Never again.
Piggy! Miss Piggy! Are you Miss Piggy?
Yes?
Telephone. I may not be one of your fancy Hollywood frogs, but I deserve a chance.
The single-engine Piper Cherokee was making an instruments landing at Hollywood Burbank Airport when the plane's engine reportedly failed. Without power, the pilot forced the plane to land in a vacant lot just off the Hollywood freeway near Sherman Way. The pilot, Greg Davis, was delivering some cargo in the California Air charter plane. There were no passengers, and Davis himself was not even scratched. Just after he nose-dived into the ground, a worker nearby saw Mr. Davis give a thumbs-up gesture and shouted to whomever was interested that he was okay. The plane was not okay. Landing gear was scattered around the field, the fuselage was broken, as was one of the wings. When the plane hit the ground, it apparently spun around before stopping. The pilot, who was kept busy with investigators, said he'd been flying for more than 10 years, that it was his first incident, and that it is always nice to walk away from a plane crash. Indeed. Pat O'Brien, Channel 2 News.
Well, green flags wave at some service stations and there's no one there. At others, people are still lining up, and for a very simple reason. 79.4 to 85 cents a gallon self-serve, 2 cents higher for full service. In the picture, we may have thought it vanished from the local landscape, lines of cars stretching from around the corner to several deep at the pumps, back once more. This is a company-owned Exxon station that started with lower prices before the gasoline shortage. In those days, not too many noticed. But with a lower base on which to add recent wholesale price increases and other costs, and with other stations approaching $1 a gallon gasoline, this is suddenly one of the most popular places in town.
I'd say I waited in this line, I'd say about 25 minutes.
For a cheaper price?
Sure, with the amount of driving I do, it saves a heck of a lot of money at the end of the month.
How long did you wait, and why did you happen to wait in line when you could get gas other places without any lines?
Because it's cheaper here. I waited about 45 minutes, so it's, I come here often, so.
Motorists seem to be comparing gasoline prices even when they're on the high side. At this standard station, the price ranges from 92.9 to 97.9, and business seemed rather slow when we were there. A mobile station across the street had more customers, and the price was just a little lower. We got this answer when we asked why a motorist came here.
Well, the prices are a couple cents cheaper here than they are, say, across the street.
And what's happening at stations with $1 a gallon gasoline? Shell dealer Frank Drayling says he's doing just fine, selling as much gasoline as when he had the lines, but things are a lot easier.
The gas allocations have not changed any.
But the crowds have, because of the price.
The crowds have, and I believe the price has got a lot to do with it.
Bob? I got You got the big size? Y'all come up. Big size. Miss Lillian, I think they have a presentation to you.
How about that? For the road to China, and we hope that you wear that every day.
I will wear it. I have one. You should give me one. See, one Billy gave me.
Oh, did Billy give you
one?
one?
It had Red Hot Mama on the back.
Red Hot Mama.
I said, thank you so much.
Here's the other body.
You get them covering this one.
Step right up. I can do the same in the gold.
Sandra Buchanan has been taking courses for 4 years to become a paramedic, and her background interview was the next to the last test before her application was complete. But when she heard the kinds of questions she was being asked, she got up and left the interview in protest. And today, with a lawyer, took that protest to the City Civil Service Commission.
She was asked, have you ever had semi-public sex? Have you had sex on a beach? Have you had sex in a parked car? Have you ever exposed yourself indecently? Have you molested any children? Do you have any homosexual contacts?
after the sex questions, the other questions I was barely even listening to, I finally just said, wait a minute. I said, have you ever had anyone walk out before? And he said, yes. And I said, well, I think you can add me to your list. I said, this is ridiculous, and I got up and walked out.
Those questions are asked of all men and women who apply for jobs as police officers, firefighters, or paramedics. According to a report prepared by the city for the Civil Service Commission, some of the respondents stumble with their answers. Some even cry, both men and women, but only 2 in recent years have walked out. After walking out, Ms. Buchanan was disqualified from paramedic eligibility, but her protest is, what do sex questions have to do with becoming a paramedic? At today's commission hearing, she asked that the objectionable questions be removed, not just from her interview, from all background interviews, and that she be given another chance to complete her application. The fire department testified the background interview had 2 purposes, to test honesty and to measure one's ability to deal with a stressful situation, and that such sex questions are necessary to measure candidates.
Quite often, when you touch those points of a person's background, their actions turn very deceptive, or the words that they say, which indicates a question. Sometimes that's not sufficient cause to dig in if the question is not large enough. But sometimes it is, and quite often as a result of those answers and the way they do handle those questions, you will discover something that has not been discovered in the prior investigation.
But the commission was not convinced that all the questions were indeed job-related and asked for a review.
I still very much am interested in becoming a paramedic.
Now that you understand the nature of the questions and the nature of the test, could you grit your teeth and get through it the next time?
I probably could, but some of the questions I think I would still stand up and I'd say they're really not any of your business.
See her go?
For the 8 people who are inside the Society's vault in Chatsworth, the search for immortality has ended. There'll be no scientific resurrection for them, no medical breakthrough to give them new life. It's over. The Society doesn't know what will be done with the remains of what they call an experiment which failed. The president of the Society, Robert Nelson, now disclaims responsibility. Nelson is being pursued by lawyers, suing him for fraud and misrepresentation. His society is out of the business of freezing bodies.
While the Cryonic Society of California is gone, the movement lives on. Here at the Cryovita Laboratories in Fullerton, the last 2 suspensions in Southern California were conducted here, the most recent, January of this year.
What is science fiction today is going to be science fact tomorrow.
Jerry Leaf is the director of ICE, the Institute for Cryonic Education. He's also the leader of the California Cryonic Suspension Team. His laboratory is crammed with sophisticated medical equipment used for research in low-temperature biology. In the last year, 2 bodies have been frozen in this lab, the blood gradually replaced with liquid chemicals, a kind of antifreeze, as the temperature of the body is slowly lowered. After freezing, the patients, as they're then called, are stored in a warehouse in San Francisco to await a scientific miracle. But in light of what happened with the Cryonic Society of California, it's clear that some changes have to be made.
It has all the markings of the greatest con game going. The victims are dead.
Well, for one thing, it's not the greatest con game going because you could probably make more money playing horses at the racetrack. However, as far as protecting yourself, maybe I think that the public should demand when they become, as individuals, when they become associated with one of these organizations, to have a contract which guarantees them a certain fee for service and therefore protect themselves under contract law.
The movement has come up with some unique plans of its own, group insurance and an investment club to provide the money needed to keep a patient perpetually frozen. But money isn't as big a problem as making sure it's used for the right purpose. Overcoming that, ultimately, may be nearly as difficult as finding the key to eternal life. Pete Pepper, Channel 2 News.
I always say, I was housemoth at Auburn, and they said, what kind of boys did you have? I said, my boys were the kind that never drank, never went with wild women, studied till 12 o'clock, and God went to church on Sunday. And that was the biggest lie I ever told.
Now, you will note that green sheet is identical to the first page of the green sheet that is shown with exhibit.
I didn't want to exacerbate the situation between Justice Clark and Chief Justice Byrd. I knew that this suggestion of Justice Clark was merely a suggestion that she could hold, had the power to hold the Tanner case. I knew that she would never do anything of that sort. I therefore didn't think it necessary to talk to other justices about it and make an issue of it, because it would seem to me unnecessary to do so. But I knew that that could never happen. And apparently, my best recollection is I did talk to the Chief Justice about it prior to Election Day.
Erin's back, and we're going to, starting right now today, and we have to go in and we'll get a judgment, and they're all working that out, and then starting now it's with us. We're all going to be living together for a while until the court decides otherwise, and Erin's back with custody with me, as it should be, and I'm very happy and I love her very much. Are we going to have a barbecue tonight?
Yeah.
Whoa! What are you going to eat?
What's your favorite chicken?
No chicken?
What
are you going to eat? Hamburgers. Very nice. Okay.
Erin, looking at you, looking at you, going with camera.
The commission is again in session.
The State Commission on Judicial Performance is conducting the probe, the first public examination of the state Supreme Court in the history of California. Today, Justice Matthew Tobriner resumed the stand and flatly denied politics played a part in the timing of the so-called Tanner decision, a ruling that overturned the state's use-a-gun, go-to-prison law. Election Day newspaper articles charged Tobriner stalled that decision to improve the confirmation chances of Chief Justice Rose Byrd. But the justice says he did not intentionally delay that decision to help the Chief Justice.
It's given to the public that we're holding cases because of political reasons. There's just no shred of truth in it, as you know, and I said, what can we do to try to correct this situation?
And did she respond to that?
Well, we discussed it. She, too, was extremely upset.
And you said
and I think that perhaps I suggested perhaps I should make sure that all the justices knew that I had not held the Tanner case the period from October 24th to the election day because of the fact that I wanted to hold it beyond the election.
Justice William Clark was a spectator at today's hearing. Clark, who once served as Governor Ronald Reagan's appointments secretary, has been accused of playing politics by making remarks critical of the Chief Justice. Today he heard Tobriner say it was Justice Clark himself who first proposed the decision be withheld until after the elections.
As I remember, that the conversation was to the effect that if there was any question about Justice Clark's motivation, political motivation, that either that the chief could have the power her to hold the case, and that I should discuss with the chief the possibility of her retracting or removing her concurring opinion, and that I should attempt to persuade her to sign my opinion. And I told him that was impossible, and that I also said that obviously holding the case, I said, you can't do that.
This is the best protection against a burglar getting past your front door, a deadbolt lock. Les McCarter of the LAPD Crime Prevention Section explains why.
Deadbolt lock, as you can see, the type we recommend is a 1-inch throw. So that puts 1 inch into the opposing door jamb, which is going to be very secure.
According to Les McCarter, this house in West Los Angeles is typical of most homes in Southern California in that there are so many factors that make it an easy prey for burglars.
If you're going to have shrubs around the house, you should make sure that the shrubs are down about waist high or approximately the same level as where the windows start.
Why is that?
Well, the main reason is to make sure that a burglar can't get behind the bushes and work on the window to try to gain entry without having anybody from the street be able to notice it.
Les McCarter finds that one of the worst things about this house is the fact that there are glass-paned double front doors.
It's a pretty easy matter to be able to break out a portion of the glass, reach in, and unlock the bolt. That's why these type of doors are really not very safe as far as from a security standpoint. But when you have the double door entry, you have the problem of hitting it in the center and both sides giving to the inside, which will open that lock out.
Every community in Southern California is concerned with the alarming crime rate. Here in Pasadena, the police department, in conjunction with the Chamber of Commerce, held a seminar on crime prevention. The public was invited to see exhibits showing what could be done to protect one's home against burglars. The best plan, according to the police, is an elaborate alarm system, but such systems could run into the thousands of dollars. There were alternatives here, however, and most were quite inexpensive, such as this one, which cost only $4.95.
This is a battery-operated burglar alarm, and it's a very inexpensive burglar alarm. You take your strap thusly, you wrap it around the doorknob.
On the inside?
On the inside of the house. Now, when a burglar tries to come in, he's going to open up this door. Now, naturally, the noise is going to shock him, and he's going to run.
There's good reason for these children to be happy. They're having fun with friends, the water is cool, the sun is out, and their pool is going to stay open all summer long.
This pool it means everything to them. There's nothing in the local area for them to go to. They come here, we do programming for them, special trips and events. It just means everything to them.
It's really fun to be at a pool like this.
I think it's all right, and it's close to our house.
Is the other pool far away here?
Yeah. Silmar. It's way down there in Silmar. This pool's better.
Better, huh?